Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our daily reflection on this Tuesday of the 12th week in Ordinary Time. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not give what is holy to dogs, or throw your pearls before swine, lest they trample them underfoot and then turn and tear you to pieces. Do to others whatever you would have them do to you. This is the law and the prophets. Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the road broad that leads to destruction, and those who enter through it are many. How narrow the gate and constricted the road that leads to life, and those who find it are few." The Gospel of the Lord. So often we turn to the Gospel thinking we're going to find peace and an easy solution to the challenges of life. We love to hear that God will take care of everything, and indeed He will. We like to hear especially that whatever we are doing is the right way. We like a stamp of approval on our lifestyles. Indeed, many search for religions that way. Many even search the whole of the Scriptures to find something that is going to give them a pat on the back. We want to know that we are okay just the way we are. After all, we're good people. We don't really do anything to hurt anyone. We go to church, we say our prayers. We want to know that we are not going to have to change one bit. But perhaps today's gospel challenges us to something more. We hear what has come to be known as the Golden Rule. Do to others whatever you would have them do to you. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Most people just want to be treated fairly and kindly. So it shouldn't be that difficult to treat others the way you want to be treated. On the surface, it just seems to be a very basic play nice mentality. We basically want to live in a world of peaceful coexistence, of putting up with the other, of tolerating others, even those who are different than us. And so we put up with each other, we tolerate each other. And on the surface, perhaps that is kind of going along with the Golden Rule. I'll tolerate that person because I want to be tolerated. I guess so. Now wait a minute. Is all we desire out of life is to be tolerated? Well, of course not. What we want is for people to understand us, to see what we can contribute to society, but also to understand the challenges we have, to understand what we're going through, to celebrate our joys, and to walk with us in our sorrows. Ultimately, what I want is for people to know my story. In understanding my story, they will better get to know who I really am, to what I can contribute, of how they can love and support me. So often, my friends, we really don't get to know each other's stories. We simply coexist with each other. We tolerate each other, but we will never get beyond mere tolerance unless we get to know each other's stories. Pope Francis talked about this very thing when he spoke to a joint session of the United States Congress during his apostolic visit in September of 2015. He focused his thoughts on the immigration issues we faced then and certainly continue to face today. He said, "Our world is facing a refugee crisis of magnitude not seen since the Second World War. This presents us with great challenges and many hard decisions. On this continent, too, thousands of persons are led to travel north in search of a better life for themselves and for their loved ones, in search of greater opportunities. Is this not what we want for our own children? We must not be taken aback by their numbers, but rather view them as persons, seeing their faces and listening to their stories, trying to respond as best we can to their situation, to respond in a way which is always humane, just, and fraternal. We need to avoid a common temptation nowadays to discard whatever proves troublesome. Let us remember the golden rule, he says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This rule points us in a clear direction. Let us treat others with the same passion and compassion with which we want to be treated. Let us seek for others the same possibilities which we seek for ourselves. Let us help others to grow as we would like to be helped ourselves. In a word, if we want security, let us give security. If we want life, let us give life. If we want opportunities, let us provide opportunities. The yardstick we use for others will be the yardstick which time will use for us. He says the golden rule also reminds us of our responsibility to protect and defend human life at every stage of its development. So let us come, my brothers and sisters, to know each other's stories. That takes time and true listening. It takes a willingness to walk in each other's shoes, to put ourselves as the main characters in their stories. How would we like to be treated if we were them? Then that's how indeed we should treat them. Our Lord knows this isn't easy. He calls this way the narrow gate. He also acknowledges that not too many people enter this gate. The gospel of Jesus Christ is not always easy, but it is meant to change the world. So let's do our part by embracing the golden rule. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. May God bless you and have a safe day.